Hi friends, it gives me immense pleasure to be here again for the course which is Aircraft Stability and Control. Today I am in the lecture number 33 and the topic for this lecture is Porter force in Z direction, that is Fz in Z direction. I am Dr. Dwivedi from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad, India. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss about few topics. These topics are Porter force in Z direction, alpha and alpha dot derivatives, then pitch and pitch rate derivatives. This lecture will answer following questions. What is Porter force in Z direction? Z direction indicates that vertical up or down. Relation of alpha derivative with aircraft stability. So these questions are going to be answered in this lecture. In previous lectures, I have discussed about three Porter quantities from longitudinal equations of motion. When I say about the longitudinal equations of motion, there are three equations of motion in that. One is the when aircraft is moving the forward, it is Fx. And another one when aircraft is going up and down, it is called plunging. And third one is the pitching. So once the aircraft nose is going up and down, then we can say that aircraft is in pitching motion. So these three equations we have derived for the perturb Fx, perturb Fz and perturb M. These three equations we have already derived and some insight and I have shown some significance and importance of these parameters. Today I am going to discuss about the Porter force in Z direction, and we have seen these equations. Let us take the second equation which we have already derived. We have taken stability axis in this case. So here we can see that Fz minus mg theta sine theta 1 is equal to m w dot minus q u1. This we have already derived. Now we know that this force Fz is a function of u by u1 alpha q alpha dot and delta E. Here we need to know why q and alpha dot. Okay, this q and alpha dot, why we have to choose this? We can see in this diagram that, and already I have explained here that when we make this change in pitching moment rate, when we give this q and here is a angle alpha, due to this tail will go down. When tail is going down, relative velocity will be upward, and also it is moving in this direction. Aircraft is moving in this direction. So by moving that tail down, a lift force delta L will be generated in this, and also there is a change in delta alpha, angle of attack. So this q will generate one force and the moment also, and this moment will be in this direction. It is called CMQ. However, due to this change in the velocity, there is a change in angle of attack. So this angle of attack, the velocity of this aircraft is v, and here the velocity of this is q into LT. Okay, LT is the distance from here to here. It is the center of gravity. It is the LT, and the Q is this. So here delta alpha will be QLT by V. So this much angle of attack is varied, and this variation of angle of attack will vary the lift, and so this lift will also vary the CM. Okay, and this lift is in Z direction. So here Z is mentioned. Okay, so that is the importance of this. We have to understand why we are taking alpha dot and Q, because this alpha dot depend upon the time, and because this, you can see this alpha is directly relation with the Q, and Q is in radian per second. So here this alpha dot will also change with respect to the time. So that is called alpha dot. Okay. So now we have to understand that for the stability axis, the axis is turned towards the relative velocity. So in this case, we don't have any W1. W1 become 0. And lift is perpendicular to this and drag is parallel to this. So this is the advantage of the stability axis system. Now we can say that Fz is equal to dou Fza by dou U by U1 into U by U1 using the Taylor series. All this thing we are expanding, and this alpha dou Fz alpha into alpha dou Fza by dou QC bar by 2U1. Everywhere it is C bar. If it is not visible, it is, you assume it is a C bar. Don't, it is not a C. Okay, because C bar is a non-dimensional quantity, and so we have to use accordingly. So here alpha dot C bar by 2U1 plus dou Fza by dou delta E into delta E. This equation. So now here Q and alpha dot have units radian per second. So we have to convert this Q into non-dimensional form. So we have multiplied C by 2U1. So here Fz is equal to Fu by U1 into alpha QC by 2U1 alpha dot C by U1 into delta E. This we have made so that all the quantities here are in the non-dimensional form. Why we take all the quantity in the non-dimensional form? Because we are testing in wind tunnel a small model, and the result of that small model have to be matched with a bigger model. So if we take all quantities like lift as a coefficient of lift, drag as a coefficient of drag, pitching moment as a pitching moment coefficient, same way the velocity U by U1, the alpha, and the Q is QC by 2U1 and alpha dot in alpha dot C by 2U1. This will match with the bigger or the large size aircraft. So this is the advantage, and this will be useful for experimental analysis, and it is called the dynamic analysis of the aircraft. So now, can I get a quick estimation of derivative at steady state? First, start with Fza. We know that Fza is equal to what? Lift. Okay. So if you see here, this is the lift and this is the Z. So it is in the lift is in negative direction. Okay. It is a minus L. So here L is equal to CL half rho V square. So half rho V square S. Okay. So here into CL. Okay. Here this V is equal to U1 plus U. Okay. So here Fza is equal to minus CL half rho V square. This is the U1 plus U whole square into area S. So here we can write minus CL half rho. We have taken U1 square as a common S. So here 1 plus U by U1 whole square. So dFz by du by U1, we have to differentiate with U by U1. So here minus here Q infinity S CL into 2, here 2, 1 plus U by U1 minus Q infinity, okay, half, this half rho square we can write here Q infinity, okay. So here Q infinity, it is not alpha, it is infinity, okay, it is infinity. So half rho V square, half rho U1 square is Q infinity S CL 2 1 plus U by U1 minus QS 1 plus U by U1 into dou CL by dou U by U1. So here this CL and this two parameters are variables. Oh, okay, so here this is constant, this is varying, and here this is constant and this is varying. Okay, so now steady state all perturbed quantities will be 0. So here dou FZA by dou U by U1 is equal to minus Q infinity S 2CL1 plus CLU. This is what? CLU. And Q infinity and S we have taken common, okay, and here this U by U1 will be 0, so only QS dou CL by this will be there, and this we can write as a CLU. This is dou CL by dou U by U1 here, and this one will be CL here, okay, because this will be 1 here, only CL, so this will become 2CL and the CL will be as a 1 for the steady state condition. CL1 is a trim, and this we have already discussed that this is 2 by WS and rho V square. Okay, so these things we have got here, that dou FZA by dou U by U1, this is the derivative, minus Q infinity S, and this Q infinity will become Q1. Q1 is a steady state variation S 2CL1 plus CLU. Okay, so what is trim by definition is a, so this trim means what? When L is equal to W and half rho V square S CL. Okay, so in this way we can find out the, and this CLU is a very important derivatives. Okay, now we have to see this. Just now we have find out. So dou CL by dou M is equal to 0. If we, this M is what? It is not a moment, but it is a Mach number. M is here Mach number. So if we plot a CL versus Mach number, so below 0.6 Mach, this side CLU will remain constant. From here transonic to the supersonic means M1, it will increase, and after M1 means at the supersonic it will come down. Okay, so this is the plot of CLU. So if dCL by dou M is equal to 0, okay, so it means it is in the subsonic region. Okay, it is in the subsonic region, so it is a subsonic. If dou CL by dou CM is greater than 0, you can see it is a plot is going positive. Case 1, it is a transonic region. Okay, so this is a transonic. Okay, and if dCL by dou M is less than 0 or negative, this is a negative and this is the positive. If it is a negative, it is falling. It means it refers that it is in the supersonic or high speed supersonic range. So this CLU gives dou CL by dou U or dou CL by dou M. M we have made as a speed or Mach number. If we plot this, and from this we can get whether the aircraft is in the subsonic range, transonic range, or in the supersonic range. So here dou CL by dou U by U1 we can write as dou CL dou U by A and U1 by A, where A is a velocity of sound. So here this will become U1 by A is equal to M1. So here M1 and dou CL by dou M. This is the and this M1 is a steady state Mach number, and this is called CLU. A very, very important parameters that we have to understand very well, and it gives the state of aircraft, whether it is in subsonic, supersonic or transonic range. A is a velocity of sound and M is a Mach number, which is the ratio of velocity of velocity of a body to the velocity of sound. Okay, so if CLU is a 0 as the case 1, it is 0.6 to 0.7 Mach, it is a subsonic. If CLU is greater than 0, it is 0.6 to 1.2 approximately, and it is transonic range. And if CLU is less than 0, so 1.2 to higher value, it is a supersonic range. Okay, so this CLU gives very important physical interpretation of aircraft, and which shows that aircraft is in which Mach number. Now we have to see the next derivative, which is dfz by dou alpha. Okay, this is the another parameter which we have to see here. So now fza we have already seen that minus q infinity s cd sine alpha plus cl cos alpha. Okay, so this you can see from here itself. So now to find dou fzi by dou alpha, we can write this as a minus q and s cl alpha plus cd1, which as earlier we have done for the alpha derivative. Same way we are here getting minus q1 s cl alpha plus cd1, where cd1 is a coefficient of drag at steady state condition, and cl alpha is dou cl by dou alpha. Okay, so dou fza by dou alpha is equal to minus q1s cl alpha plus cdi. Okay, now the third term is dou fz by dou qc by 2u1. So two derivatives we have find out. Okay, first one is u by u1, second one is alpha, and third is a q derivative. So these three. So now third one is dou fz by dou q by u1. So here q1 is the perturbed pitch rate, and so here we have already in the unit 1. So delta cl is equal to neta st by sw cl alpha t qlt by u1. Okay, so here cl alpha is equal to dou cl by dou alpha. So here this we can see here that delta alpha is equal to qlt by u1. I have already discussed in the previous lecture this value and how it is happening. You can see if you turn this nose upward like this by the q rate, tail will go down. This tail, a relative wind will go up. This relative wind, the velocity of this wind is qlt upward, and aircraft is moving in this direction with the velocity of u1. Okay, so here the angle of attack alpha will be qlt by u1. Okay, so here cl alpha is equal to cl alpha t into qlt by u1. So this, how much this delta L is generated? This delta L is equal to half rho v square t st cl alpha t into alpha t, and alpha t is how much? qlt by u1. Here you see in our steady state case we have not taken q. There we have taken cl alpha t into alpha t, but here due to this q there is a change in alpha t, and this alpha t is equal to here delta alpha t QLT by U1. So here we have put QLT by U1. So here we can see that CLQ is equal to dou CL by dou QC by 2U1. So here delta CL by QC by 2U1. So if we take here N, ST by SW, CL alpha T, QLT by U1 divided by QC by 2U1, U1 cancel, Q cancel. Here you will get LT by 2, LT by C. Okay, C bar. Here also LT by C bar. Okay, so here we got 2 neta ST by SW CL alpha T into LT by C bar. So CLQ is equal to 2 neta ST by SW CL alpha T into LT by C. So if Q is positive, so CLQ is greater than 0. Okay, so if you are getting that CLQ greater than 0, it means Q is positive, nose up. If the CLQ you are getting greater than 0, means nose is up. It is unstable case. So we should get CLQ less than 0 so that aircraft, we can find out that aircraft is stable or unstable case. Now we can see that further FZA is equal to minus half rho V square S. Now CLQ we have find out QC by 2U1 plus delta E will give force upward. Okay, so now here this you can see here that dou FZA by dou QC by 2U1 is equal to minus Q1 S CLQ. Okay, so if we differentiate, this will become out. So here half rho V square is equal to Q1 S and CLQ. So dou FZA by dou QC by 2U1 is equal to minus Q1 S CLQ. Okay, so this we have got the result. Now we have to find out the delta E derivative. So how to find? So if we have to deflect delta E, will give a upward, plus delta E is downwards and it will give upward force. So FZA is equal to minus half rho V square S CL delta E into delta E. So dz by d delta E is equal to minus Q1. This is the Q1 S CL delta E. Okay, it is very simple, and same way we can do for alpha dot also. Same procedures are applied. So now we will go for the next derivative, that is alpha dot derivative. So alpha dot will have effect on lift more than drag. Okay, so this alpha dot is, as you change the rate of angle of attack, it will affect lift more. So that is the benefit of this this alpha dot. So this you can see that Fz is equal to dou Fza by dou U by U1 plus dou Fza by dou alpha into alpha plus dou Fz by dou QC by 2U1 plus dou Fza by dou alpha dot C by 2U1 plus dou Fza by dou delta E into delta E. So we have to find this derivative. We are here. So how to find tail contribution? Just you can see here. If you take, here is the center of gravity of the aircraft, CG. This is the tail here. The aerodynamic center of the tail is located LT distance from the center of gravity of the aircraft. If the nose is going upward, then what will happen? The relative velocity of the nose will be pushing in this way. However, your tail will go down and a lift force will act upward. Okay, so here QLT will be the relative velocity which is moving from bottom to up. The velocity of this thing is QLT, radians. Okay, so here angle of attack of this system will change, and that is delta alpha, and this delta alpha is equal to QLT by U1, where U1 is the velocity of the aircraft in x direction, steady state velocity of aircraft in x direction. So this alpha will be this angle into this angle, and this will be the alpha here. Okay, so this alpha is equal to QLT by U1. So LT, lift by the tail, is equal to half rho v square T ST CLT QLT by U1. So coefficient of lift is equal to LT by half rho v square S. So this will become NT ST by S CL alpha T QLT by U1. Okay, so here dou CL by dou QC by 2 U1 is, this is called CLQ, and this CLQ is equal to NT ST by S CLT into QLT by U1 divided by QC bar by 2 U1. So here you will get CLQ is equal to 2 neta T ST by S CL alpha T into LT by C. So delta CL is equal to, how you will get the coefficient of lift? This delta CL is equal to CLQ QC by 2 U1. So in this way you can find out how much lift is generated by the change in pitching moment. This much CL is extra generated by Q, by the Q. So whenever you apply the pitch rate, there will be generation of the lift, and this generation of extra lift delta CL is directly proportional to CLQ, and CLQ QC by 2 U1. By this you can, if you know the Q, you can find out how much delta CL is generated. Okay. Now what is the next is CMQ. So as we have seen in the previous diagram, that whenever we shift the, just you can see here, if you make here Q, this is the very Q, the tail will go down and it will, relative wind will be upward, and this will generate a delta L, and from here to here it is LT. So this will be generating a moment CM, and this CM has to counter this Q. So how to find CMQ? CMQ is equal to dou CM by dou QC by 2 U1. So here CMQ is equal to minus LT by C 2 neta ST by S CL alpha T into LT by C. So CMQ is equal to minus 2 neta ST by S LT by C whole square into CLT. So this we have got here the equation for CMQ. So why this minus CMQ? So I have shown here the CMQ will be minus in this anti-clockwise, because if the Q is positive, CMQ will be negative. That is the importance of this. Now we need to find and focus on CM alpha dot and CL alpha dot. So now CL alpha dot is equal to dou CL by dou alpha dot C by U1, and CM alpha dot is equal to dou CM by dou alpha dot C by 2 U1. So you know that this C by 2 U1, these are called the alpha dot derivatives. Okay, so here time component is there to build the lift in the wing. Okay, so if you see that alpha dot, what is the alpha dot? Means if at time t0 your flow is moving here, but this same flow will be coming after t plus 1. So the effect of wing, and to reach that flow in the tail, there it will take some time, and this epsilon will be experienced after some time. So down was reduces alpha at the tail, that is alpha t minus epsilon, is time component in epsilon. Okay, so and see this vertices will move slowly like this. Okay, it will take some time to reach in the, so here alpha dot is coming into play. So alpha dot means here time is involved, and time which is taking from wing to the tail downwards traveling will take some time, and that time will be calculated from the distance LT, because how much distance is there, and if you multiply by the velocity we can get the time is taken. Okay, so it is explained here. Angle of attack at tail is also the function of time. Suppose of it is traveling with time t, reduction in alpha or at tail will have often, it will take some time. How much time it takes, it is depend upon the LT by U1. Okay, so how much it will take from wing to tail, it is LT by U1, where U1 is the velocity of the aircraft and LT is the this is the moment arm of the tail. So here L prime t is the distance from wing area to the tail at time t. Tail will give more angle of attack and give more lift, as lift is increased in the tail. It will give some upward and Cm alpha will be negative. So this Cm alpha dot is equal to, it is in downwards effect. Okay, due to the downwards effect, it is important to understand. So here delta alpha is equal to d alpha by dt into delta t. So here d alpha by dt into delta t is equal to LT by U1. So here delta epsilon is equal to d epsilon by d alpha into delta alpha. So d epsilon by d alpha into delta alpha is equal to alpha dot LT by U1. Okay, this we have already calculated. So now pitching moment delta Pm is equal to minus CL alpha t dou epsilon by dou alpha into alpha dot LT by U1 into LT, ST and LT. So coefficient of moment, so this delta Pm by half rho V square SC. So here this will be minus neta ST LT by S C bar, then CL alpha t dou epsilon by dou alpha dot LT by U1. So here dou Cm dot alpha dot is equal to dou Cm by dou alpha dot C by 2U1. We will get here 2 neta ST by S LT by C whole square CL alpha t into dou epsilon by dou alpha, and this is called Cm alpha naught. Okay, so in this way we can find out how much Cm alpha dot is required. Okay, so here L is equal to lift is equal to half rho V square tail ST CL alpha t, and so we can find out delta epsilon by finding CL alpha dot. Okay, so this is the importance of this CL alpha dot. In next topic, I am going to discuss about perturb pitching moment and alpha derivatives, q derivatives, and perturb longitudinal equations of motion. And these are the references. And thank you very much for joining this class.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.